147.
Hey Manny, Terence Crawford has been trying to get a fight with you for a very long time. Can you just elaborate why that fight never came to fruition?
We almost have a fight with Terence Crawford, just other times, also, pandemic affect the negotiation like that. There's so many considerations like that. But as long as I'm still in boxing, I'm open to and willing to fight Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, or anybody.
If you become the president of the Philippines, would you challenge President Biden?
Manny, a lot of people consider you as the greatest fighter ever. What goes through your mind when you hear a compliment like that? It's a very big compliment.
Tudaraba for the people thinking about that. I mean, I said thank you very much for people thinking about that.
Thank you.
Thinking about that, it's an honor, but I'm a kind of person that all my achievements and accomplishments in life I don't put here in my I always consider myself as a humble and an ordinary person like anybody else. I mean, that's me. That's in my heart. Because who am I to become a boastful, became I came from nothing into something, and I want to be an inspiration to all of you, to all the people of the world, especially boxing fans.
Manny, is this the first Cuban fighter you faced, Manny? And if so, who does Ugas remind you of that you fought in the past? Is he similar to anybody you fought in the past, you feel?
Ugas.
Yeah, I think this is the first
It's my
Cuban
first
you
time.
fought. Yeah.
First time.
Does he remind you of anyone that you fought though? The type of style that he has?
Remind me. No.
So this is a unique thing.
Unique thing.
Yeah. What do you make of that? That challenge, because a lot of fighters with a week notice and maybe 2-3 days of sparring would have been like, no, you know what, this is too risky. Like I'm too much at a disadvantage here. I won't take this fight.
I think if going way around, like you're preparing for right-handed and then switching to southpaw, and you're not used to it fighting southpaw, then I might thinking about maybe cancel it because it's a southpaw. But this time around, I'm preparing for southpaw by switching to right-handed. But I'm always fighting a right-handed in my career, so it's not hard for me to adjust.
Manny,
what's your
Ishmael
thoughts on
Salas
Canelo
reminded us that he beat you at I think it was 112 pounds back when you were like a flyweight or something. He was the trainer in that corner. Do you remember anything about that fight back, or Ishmael being part of that?
Who's that?
The Thai fighter.
The Thai fighter?
In Thailand.
Ugas was in the corner of a Thai fighter you fought, and the Thai fighter won.
We fought so many times.
Do you remember that?
When you were a flyweight?
When I flyweight, I was overweight. They stripped my belt before the fight.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not focusing that fight anymore because my thinking is moving up to 120 pounds.
Hey, Manny, what's your thoughts on Canelo Alvarez?
Sorry.
What's your thoughts on Canelo Alvarez and
he's,
his accomplishments?
He's one of the best. He's accomplished a lot and keep up the good work. And, your opponent, his opponent is only himself. If he keep on focusing in boxing and working hard, sacrifices, doing that discipline, he will last in boxing.
Did you ever have thoughts of fighting him at one point in time when he was 54?
I think 54 is too much for me because I'm 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", 5'7". If I became 5'9", and then after the Margarito fight, they asked me about if I'm going to defend my belt. I told them, no, give it to them. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going back to 147. I said, what I have done and why I'm moving up to 154, and it's good experience.
Manny, you've never been off for 2 full years like you are now. What is going to be the impact in terms of your timing and whatnot in the ring?
Good thing for me because to have a 2 years layoff, rest because of my body. I've been in boxing since when I was 12, non-stop. That's non-stop. And then good thing for me that I rested. I rested 2 years of when I back to training. Like I feel like when I was young, like my desire, it's fun.
Manny, does it ever into your mind, especially when you walk into this building? I know the fight is at Canelo. You've been in the MGM arena for so many of the biggest wins, but it was 20 years ago this year, just that a couple months ago.
My fight this year, first time. My first fight in America this year.
No, I know, I was ringside, but I'm saying, yeah, 20 years ago, when you come here and you think like, where did the time go? Like, what are your thoughts when you think about everything that's happened in 20 years since? And knockout with Bobby here and all the great fights since.
No, I'm thinking that too. I'm thinking that last 20 years ago, I'm here, my first fight with Waba, supporting main event with De La Hoya Castellino, June 23rd.
Yeah, remember.
Manny.
And you have good thoughts when you think about that when you walk in the door?
If you do decide to fight again, would it be Errol Spence or somebody else?
Well, two fighters that I want to challenge or give myself fighting, keep fighting. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford.
And
I want to fight that.
Who would you rather fight?
Manny,
Which one?
This might sound like a crazy idea, but you've accomplished everything. What about moving down 140 pounds and challenging for the undisputed? That's the one thing that you haven't accomplished. And Freddie, if you want to go ahead and chime in on that as well, against Josh Taylor, I think a lot of people would be interested in that.
That's a good one. Like first time I go down at 140, the Hatton fight.
Oh, sorry, what happened?
Manny,
Well, what do you think about that,
The
Freddie?
Hatton fight.
And Manny, when you heard the news, Manny, when you heard the news that Errol got,
Consider, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's one fight at a time.
Manny, when you heard the news that Errol was hurt, was that injured and had to pull out the fight, what's the first thing that went through your mind, and were you disappointed?
I felt disappointed a little bit because I've been working hard and focused in this training camp. I did a lot discipline like that, doing my best training camp. But the good thing that they told me that the fight is not cancelled, just a substitution. There's a Ugas who it happened that he's under card who want to challenge me like that. And when I heard that Ugas that the one who took your belt, and okay.
Manny, what do you have to say to people who, like critics of Errol Spence, that maybe don't believe the injury or believe something was up? What are your thoughts when you started hearing about that stuff?